So now you know the potential of why people are calling it the next billionaires row. It's because the whole area is set up to be
Rich.
prestigious and rich. Yes, exactly. There's so few inventory.
Yeah.
So I would say 5% is always in the market for sale.
Right.
1 or 2 properties are for sale in the full year. This is prime plot. I can never sell this. So you'll see grandfathers giving it to their sons, sons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm with Omar. Today we're going to be speaking about...
Dubai Water Canal.
In my head, I was saying Dubai Water Canal.
Because Dubai Water Canal, you don't feel like it's an area as much it's like
I feel like
a
Wasl is
feature.
an area.
Wasl is an area. Jumeirah is an area, but Dubai Water Canal is just like a canal.
Yeah, it's literally just
But apparently the area is called Dubai Water Canal, and obviously everyone's talking about it's the next billionaires row. I don't know whichever was billionaires row before. What's the next billionaires row? But also, I mean, okay, it's a nice name and everything, but you don't need to be a billionaire to be living here as well, David.
Water Canal.
But it's why do they say billionaires row is because it's mostly, I would say 70% penthouses projects. Besides canal front residences, all of them are considered penthouses, even though Eden House Canal, for example, is a super luxurious project and a super luxurious brand as well. But they had studios in it, so it's not considered a penthouse and stuff. But
you're telling me billionaires row in their studios? That's not very billionaire, if you ask me.
I didn't understand the concept of that, to be honest, but it's still luxurious. It's not cheap, by the way. It's not a normal studio like you see anywhere in Dubai. It's expensive, obviously. Now, Dubai Water Canal is like, I don't know, how long is the strip? I would say around 2 kilometers. I'm making up the number. I forgot the number exactly, but it's around 2 kilometers all the way from Habtoor. So what this area is, why this area is special, first of all, is because, first of all, it's a GCC area. So there is no freehold properties in that area besides the Dubai Water Canal strip. That's one. 2 is the exclusivity. There is not a lot of units in each or most of the buildings, basically. Like, let's say, for example, there's a Mr. C residence over here, just 27 apartments or penthouses or residences. And Four Seasons residences, only 28, I think, or 29 residences, apartments. So Eden House Canal, also something like that. It's not a lot. It's not skyscrapers, basically.
Yeah.
It's 8, 7 floors, 12, 14 floors for some projects. Now the MAC built a project. Is going to build a project over there, branded by Cavalli, as far as I remember. But it's all penthouses with private pools. It's super luxurious. People could search it up, obviously. People know what I'm talking about. Couture, I think it's called. AHS had a couple of projects as well. Also all penthouses. Driven as well, by the way. Lamar Development has a project over here, Sea Mirror. Sea Mirror is like, I don't know, it's a brand they created, I think, after the huge success they had in Sea Mirror Villas in Jumeirah Bay Island. So it's a brand presenting luxury, whatever it is. If it's a penthouse apartment or villa or whatever it is.
So similar to the address with their mart?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
I don't know if it's service or no, to be honest. But it's something super luxurious, just like Eden House. Eden House, by the way, is also a brand that obviously H&H owns. It's the similar concept as the Address and Vida, but on a smaller scale. Obviously, Address is like super big. Then you have also Canal Front Residences, which are like, I don't know, more than... And it has a story as well, Canal Front Residences. It was on hold for a long time. It wasn't owned by Medan Group at that time. It was owned by Azizi. So funny enough, Azizi bought plots over there and built some of the buildings up to concrete, like skeleton, and then there's a huge issue that went around the crisis period. Another crisis happened and Aziz just went like shut down, basically.
Yeah.
But I think maybe because of the government assisting Azizi, maybe they took hold of those projects. The ones on the canal that obviously that were on hold for a long time, because every time you're on Sheikh Zayed Road, you see those concrete skeleton buildings just standing there.
Yeah.
So Medan Group created a new concept, and they said, you know what, let's make all of the strip super luxurious. So the first trigger for it was the first trigger for it was canal front residences. Even though it's normal apartments and they're not cheap as well. I mean, right now they're crossing 2,500, almost 3,000 dirham per square foot. But back then, I think Medan Group was selling at 1,700 starting price per square foot.
For waterfront, that's unheard of, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you really, really know anything that starts in a new area, you'll have to like put the prices too nice for people to say no. So it's sold out, obviously. Some of them they hold, some of them they sold as full buildings. And by the way, also something that not a lot of people know is obviously this Dubai Water Canal artificial. I've mentioned that in the Business Bay video. All this was made artificial, and unfortunately, obviously they'll make up for it, but unfortunately they had to cut off the Safa Park. I remember when I was a kid, Safa Park was way bigger than that. Now, obviously there was a time period where I didn't go to Safa Park, and all of a sudden I get back to Safa Park, like just by coincidence, drive by. I was like, and I totally forgot because there is some stuff you forget in childhood. Because it was super long time ago. I think I was like maybe 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
When I used to go to Safa Park,
So
I
like
remember
60 years ago.
maybe my small head thought Safa Park was huge, and maybe it was just this. But I'm 1,000% sure Safa Park was bigger than that, and the canal had to cut through. So they had to cut off the park.
No, definitely. It was way bigger. Even I remember it was
exactly.
way bigger.
And you're also raised here. So I remember when I was a kid, Safa Park was huge. I remember I couldn't like walk around Safa Park.
Now you can. That's how I knew it got smaller. You can round the entire Safa Park.
Even when you drive beside it, it's like, I thought Safa Park was bigger than that, because Safa Park was a trend when I was a kid, and then after that it just died out. Even Zabil Park at that time was a trend, but then the park trend just stopped.
Zabil is still trending.
Yeah? I think so, yeah. Because
Zabil Park. That's the OG.
Because it's Zabil.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, part of the park had to be cut as well for these residential. Now, residential projects over here. Now, also there's Eden House, the park, which is like 7 buildings, which is going to be in front of Safa Park. Now, the park will be an amazing feature for those apartments. And I feel like this line over here will be the wow one, even though the other side you have a lot of penthouses projects. But imagine you're in a line of residential projects, residential developments, where one side you have the park view, one side you have the canal view.
You're never losing.
Yeah, but the other one is like you're looking at the villas behind you, the back side, back view basically. And the front view is the water canal. So no one will prefer the back view and that side of the canal.
Yeah.
Unless it's a penthouse, so you're getting both views because you're taking the not full floor, but the two sides of, so the back side and the front side. So you're not missing a view. However, in the apartments over here, the back side has a park view. So you're not
really losing.
Yeah, you're not losing. Plus, that part is amazing. I would prefer that part because I can get down and walk. If I have a dog, for example, I can walk my dog into the park immediately.
I feel like the park would be a little bit too crowded though, especially since...
You think?
Yeah, because they reduced the size of the park. Now it's
but
a bit smaller.
But no one will be driving to go to Safa Park. Now the ones who will use the Safa Park is the ones around the area. Because now there's no parking. First of all, there's no parking to park your car. Second of all, why would you drive from your home, if you're living away from Safa Park, to Safa Park and it's a small park? I would rather go to a big park, like either... I don't know which parks are available right now. No. I think Creek Park and Zabil Park or... whichever parks are available. Mamzar Park, for example.
Nobody's driving to Mamzar for a park.
Yeah, you think?
Nobody's driving
but Mamzar is big, to be honest. But no one will be driving to Safa Park, I feel like. Now, I want to speak on Dubai Water Canal shortly. It is artificial, like we said, and they had to open it to the Gulf because they do not want the water to be stagnant, creating odor, so on. Yada. This, by the way, fun fact for you. Oh, I just had money.
I was like, that's so...
Fun fact for you. So this canal was actually built by B6. B6, the ones who built Burj Khalifa, the ones who built Infinity Bridge. So they're the ones that do the
ultra crazy
projects. Yeah. So to do a project like that, that's not cheap. 1, 2, it's tough. You'll have to dig up the ground all the way to the canal. So and they did it in such a short time. The construction started for it in 2013 or 2012 and it finished 2016. So they dug up all the way. Yes, exactly. They dug up all the way through Business Bay, through Jumeirah, Safa, and all the way to the other side of the Gulf. And they passed the water through in like 3 years, which I feel like it's significant, to be honest.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, this area, short buildings, like I said, or short low-rise buildings. But the only ones that were given permit to build skyscrapers in this Dubai Water Canal was around the Dubai Habtoor City area. Sorry, why am I saying Dubai Habtoor City? Around the Habtoor City, there is Muraba Ville over here, which is like a 70-plus story building. It's all penthouses, so like one floor each, one apartment each floor.
Crazy. That's
But it's like 70 towers, but it's also around
Yeah.
here. So it's just beside those penthouse projects. However, it's and Safa 1, Safa 2, also on the other side of the canal by the Mac over here, just stuck to the Safa Park. They have the permit to build skyscrapers. After that line, it's all short buildings. It's no tall towers. And also, by the end of the canal over here, you have this island over there that's deserted with it. It has secret beach. That's gonna be, I mean,
Isn't it a tourist area right now?
It is a tourist area for people to go beach over there, but actually H&H, I don't know if I can say this or no, but H&H is coming up with a project over there, super luxurious project. And I remember when I was in, I think it was like, 6 years ago, I think, something like that, 5 years ago, Miras announced that they were going to build out a project over there. However, it never seen the light.
Miras and H&H would be a nice...
It would be a nice project regardless, even if Miras do it alone. Like Miras is like kings of waterfront development.
Yeah,
so like from Blue Water, Jumeirah Bay Island, Lamir, and so on. Imagine they build out something over there. But I don't know for whatever reason, Miras didn't go ahead with it. Not a lot of people know that, or I mean, obviously a lot of experts in the market would know that. But H&H has taken that plot and they are going to build out like I think 7-8 buildings around that marina, creating a marina over there with yachts. And there will be a Manjan on Rosewood around also in the end of the island, something like that. There is a private island over there which belongs to His Highness Sheikh Hamdan. So the whole area is super prestigious. Also, just across on the right, it doesn't show on the screen over here, just across on the right is Jumeirah Bay Island, which is one of the highest price per square foot around in Dubai. So now you know the potential of why people are calling it the next billionaires row. It's because the whole area is set up to be
Rich.
Prestigious and rich, yes, exactly. Plus, not only that, the GCC area around it, which is Jumeirah, Safa, Wasl, it's not also, I can't say low-end GCC, but even though some of the villas over there are old, but they are not, I would say, they're not... they're high net worth individuals, I would say. The locals over there, most of them around that area are kind of high net worth, or they're powerful to some extent. Maybe some of them are in government, some of them are high positions around in companies. But it's, I mean, you wouldn't find a lot of transaction in this area, because no one is willing to sell.
No, it's even like most of it's like what GCC, no?
GCC,
like,
but no one is willing to sell to other GCC as well, because this I have a prime plot. I'm in Safa, Wasl, Jumeirah 2, Jumeirah 3. This is prime plot. I can never sell this. So you'll see grandfathers giving it to their sons, to their sons. So it's basically given it to the full generation. So I don't think it will ever sell unless someone needs cash really bad. Yeah, I wouldn't find anyone.
That's 1 in a million, especially in people with this position.
Plus, yes, exactly. So that's 1 in a million. You wouldn't find anyone that would need cash over here. They all have cash, apparently. But yeah, I mean, that's a short brief. Now we can speak on another different video about individual projects around over here, the prices. I think the cheapest price over here, besides canal front residences, for the penthouse projects, 20 million plus. And penthouse doesn't mean like it's a penthouse big. It's a 2-bedroom penthouse. It's a small
penthouse is penthouse.
It's a name penthouse too, because it's luxurious. Like for example, Four Seasons residences.
Yeah.
And plus another thing, since I told you there's not a lot of transactions from the GCC, also there is not a lot of transactions in those projects, except maybe in Canal Front. It's a bit active since the Canal Front over that side got handed over. And it's also it's cheaper than the penthouse. I can't say the word cheaper. It's affordable than the penthouse projects. But even like, for example, Mr. C, Four Seasons, later on in the future with the AHS penthouses and the Mac penthouses, you don't see a lot of transactions because there's so few inventory.
Yeah.
So I would say 5% is always in the market for sale. If the building has 30 units, 5% of that is what? Like 10% is 3. So
for the right number.
1 or 2 properties are for sale in the full year.
Yeah.
So there's not, even if you check Mr. C residences and Four Seasons residences over the last year, transactions have been like what, 2 transactions I think each. So I mean, yeah, that's the short brief of Dubai Water Canal. There's not a lot to speak about, and plus what I like about Dubai Water Canal is that they have these pedestrian bridges.
Yeah.
They should have done those pedestrian bridges as well in the Business Bay area, between the canal and Business Bay area, but they've done 3 pedestrian, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and they look nice, to be honest. There is one that is twisted. It's called, they changed the name for it as well, Bridge of Tolerance, something like that.
Wasn't that
because we're in
always
this
the name?
city or the country of tolerance.
Wasn't that always the name?
No, before it was called the Twisted Bridge, something like that. You know that
yeah.
bridge that
You're
is
right, you're
like,
right,
like,
yeah.
that looks very nice at night. So yeah, I mean, that's the short way of Dubai Water Canal. I feel like this area has still a huge room to grow. Like the prices will shoot up over here in like 3 to 4 years. Hopefully, if the market is still stable, there's no crisis. 3 to 4 years, we don't get another COVID.
Clip
But-
it.
but I would say this area in 4 years, prices would double easily.
Yeah.
Almost double easily.
So it just has to mature, you think?
It has to hand over, it has to mature, and more eyes on it. So any high net worth individual coming to Dubai, they will consider Dubai Water Canal as part of it. So any high net worth individual coming to Dubai will look into areas like, for example, Dubai Hills, Palm Jumeirah, Bulgari,
Emirates
that.
Hills, yeah.
Dubai Water Canal will be part of it. Later in 4 years or 5 years, it will be part of it. Like high net worth individuals will consider that area to live in. So yeah, I mean, that's Dubai Water Canal area.
Fair enough. Well, thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll see you in the next episode.